Hey everyone, so I decided to make a follow-up video to the boundary supply bag here, the Errant. I've been using it now for about about 2 years, I think, almost three. And I've traveled to many places with it. I have many compartments that are attached to it, as you guys see here. And I'll show you guys around. I bought the side attachments, the little extension, I guess, mini pack. There's specific names to all of these things. Yeah, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go over it briefly because I do like the bag, but I think there's definitely many places where it should be redesigned. And I'll start off with the attachment of this bag right here. So here is where I usually keep my toiletries and minor electronic things or things that I need quick access to. So here I have my phone charger, my quick charger, and earbuds that I usually would keep here. These are the Edifiers Neo Pro 2. They're actually really good. Amazing noise canceling, by the way. Unfortunately, only like about 3 hours with noise canceling, but they recharge really quick with the case. So I have that there, and then here inside, as I said before, it's more like quick access. I have a bit of toiletries, masks, cables, and chargers, and mouse, and all that stuff. And I have toothpaste here, hair gel, and a hairbrush all in there. So the major gripe I have with this, it's actually very well built. However, it's the way it attaches itself to the bag. So let me put it back on one side because it kind of like came off. Give me a quick second. All right, so now that you guys see that it's back in there, so if I were to sit down, usually when you sit down, obviously the bag moves up. It's really easy to detach. So if I go like this, right, the only thing keeping it in place is this minor thing here at the bottom, this anchor, and that's about it. I personally do not like this because I tend to move up and down. I jump up and down, especially when I'm taking photos and stuff like that. And if I'm carrying this, let's say if I were to put a drone here, it would just fall down and I don't know, it's just not cool, basically. Aside, I wish that the hooks that this is made out of right here, and let me see if I can go ahead and zoom in on this really quick. Yeah, so I wish that the hooks here were better designed so it could hook in nicely, whether that meant making these closer to the body or adding some type of lock mechanism to it. But I do not like the way it comes out, and I think they do sell these bands that you could put on it to make it even tighter so it doesn't come off. But to me, the whole point of it is, to use the least amount of products to, just be more conscious about your spending habits. And these are not cheap. They have a high value attached to each item that you buy from Boundary Supply, sorry, and the compartments that you add to the Errant backpack. So that's one of the first gripes that I have about this. Am I new? These can be easily solved in engineering. Aside from that, I think that this is great whether you want to touch a notebook. Here they have multiple pockets inside, or divisions. So you could definitely make it your own. They have one here and another one here that's with a soft sleeve, so you could put your sunglasses in there and kind of be relaxed about knowing that if they're going to be safe or not scratched. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and close this up and I'll move to the next side of it, which would be the interior now. Well, I lied just a little bit. So I'm going to show you guys where the other attachments hook in to make it tighter, so you can press this. There are these bands that go across from this, so you could add more things to, like a skateboard, sleeping bag, and stuff like that. I have it, but to be honest, I don't travel with it because I consider it an extra thing that I don't need. And I'm very much a one backpack traveler. I don't travel with more than a backpack. Obviously, this is extreme small. This is for like a weekend or maybe like a week trip, depending on where I'm going. And this is the only time I would use this. So now we're gonna go to the inside. So you could open it in two ways. You could have it open by here, the top, which is where I have my camera and I have an additional phone. Or you could open it through the main compartment, which is this way. One of the things that did happen to me though is that when I was closing and opening things, the little bands that they put here came off. So I went ahead and made these. This is actually from Boundary Supply. I used to sell shirts, and mine was extremely long. So I went ahead and had it adapted, and got the extra thread and just put it here. This looks horrible, by the way. I'll probably end up getting more of these to kind of go in there. But we're gonna go ahead and open the compartments, and you guys will see basically what I almost travel with. Here there is like a hidden back pocket. You could add your passports or important documents. That's sometimes what I'll do, depending on the weather or how many times I have to get my passport. If I have to get my passport quite often, then I just leave it in my pocket in one of my pants that has like a secret compartment or a secure compartment. That, or I'll put it someplace like this or one of the pockets here. And I'll talk about these in a minute because you have to pay extra for these. All right, so usually I will have my laptop here because I do take a lot of photos and I edit them. I don't really take videos, to be honest, but to each their own, right? And if I don't carry with the extra compartment that I showed you guys earlier, the extension compartment, I'll go ahead and store some of the cables here, some of the chargers. And yeah, here is one of my compressing bags. This is already fully opened. I usually have it a lot closer, by the way, because I just came back from a trip and I was like, you know what, before I do all of this, I'm gonna go ahead and do this video. And then here you have more compartments, more side pockets. Here I have my actually my 12 to 24 Sony lens, which kind of hosts this up. Yeah, so here is an extra compartment that you get for those who like to take videos. There's also an additional compartment that you could put here for like a compressing bag that goes in here that Boundary Supply sells. Or you could add an extra camera compartment. Since I'm traveling, and to be honest, I usually shoot with 2, maybe 3 lenses at a time. I have a Sony A7R4 that I shoot with. This is my 12 to 24 to take ultra wide shots. I use a Tamron 28 to 75. And then it depends what I want to go for that week or that weekend, depending on where I'm going. I have another Tamron Zoom, which is like a 75 to 150, I think it is. And then I also have prime lenses that I use depending on the trip that I'm taking once again. So here we have another minor compartment. Here I have a cloth, an additional battery. And sometimes I'll put I have a Sony headsets that go in there, and I'll go ahead and shoot with that. So yeah, so this is basically the main the compartment that I have here. The camera basket does come out, and I do have some minor gripes about it, about the design of it. So for example, it's easy to come off the hooks. So this one already came off on the sides. When you have the camera by itself, let's say, so when you have the camera with the majority of the compartment empty, it'll kind of scrunch up like this on your back, even though you're carrying it. Which sometimes if, let's say, my camera adds a lot of pressure into the bag because it's very heavy. You have a camera and 2 lenses up top. So the compartment sometimes will unhook depending on what I have in the bag. And if the bag falls face forward and I only have the nipples have not been too safe, to be honest. Sometimes this one will come off really quick. And it's not meant to be picked up here, obviously. This one holds on steadily, but I just did it once. It was kind of empty, and this one just kind of opened up, popped up, and I was like, what? So I was a little bit fearful. Obviously, there is a zipper that's attached to here that you could definitely use to close up everything. And it's a really, it's not 100% waterproof. It's just like a regular zipper. This is supposed to keep everything kind of water resistant, if you will. I wish I would have made this with a better Y2K zipper, water resistant or waterproof. I think it would have been definitely a lot better, but it's not. So, oh well, that is what it is. Yeah, so we have an additional pocket here, as I mentioned before, and it fits in documents. So if you're traveling with none of the extra accessories, you could definitely put your hand in there, and it actually has a nice soft fabric in there that's actually quite nice and soft. So you could put delicate stuff in there, like once again sunglasses or documents and stuff like that, that won't get too scratched up. So I'm gonna, this bag, everything about this bag is about accessories, obviously. So as I mentioned before, sometimes the little things in the back don't always stay on all the way, and it could be kind of inconvenient, the little clamps. So I took out these things right here, and here we have the same thing as in the front. We have they're kind of like, people are calling them like nipple clips. Now I clip back on, did it? Yeah, I did. They're magnetized, so that kind of helps. And I'm going to go ahead, and obviously you pay extra for this. I think they recently redesigned this to be a little bit better, which is, I think, I don't know, I have to look at their website. But since I've had this already for a couple of years, it doesn't really make much sense to me unless I want to spend more money getting rid of this one and buying a new one, which to me is just pointless. As I said before, I shoot with the Sony and a Tamron, which are right here. I was going to shoot with primes in this last strip, so I have a Sony size 85 1.8. But one of the things is that obviously it doesn't close, so you could use this separately. You could close this up when you have appropriate lens, or you could make it go sideways so it all fits, but you only fit basically one lens. So you could fit two lenses depending on the lens that you're carrying, or you could fit the camera and the lens, and that's it. There are attachments, there are hooks that you could use with the other hooks, with the other sling systems that they have that you could go ahead and purchase. And here are part of like where the nipples are, so you could go ahead and attach them to, which is very similar to the top system right here that I was talking about. And to me, it seemed a lot better if, I don't know, they were slightly different or a different angle side to side, where it's a little bit complicated to put into the bag, but it's a little bit challenging to take out, which ultimately is what you want it to be. You want it to be safe and hard to take out, just in case anything happens to your bag falls, the whole thing doesn't fall out, right? And if obviously if your bag falls upside down, or if you're doing something upside down, these things will just fall open, which you don't want it to do. So yeah, the bag does have another compartment here. Up to now though, to be honest, my cameras have been safe here. They do come with two side guards, at least mine did. And these divisions are pretty good and pretty padded. So I've never had any fear, to be honest, of it scratching with each other or anything like that. They've been very, very good. Yeah, so I've been pretty content when this is with the protection of the camera. Just a bit of the engineering, and when this is heavy, as I mentioned before, the bag just kind of like just sinks in, which is not too attractive, but then again, I don't really care too much at times. All right, so now let's talk about the side compartments, which are these right here. So these, when they first came in, I actually had to return these because this Velcro that you guys see here, and I'll go ahead and zoom in. This Velcro right here, it's horrible. When I first got it, basically when you have Velcro, you want to close it down, and you want it to close, right? So let's see, right? So I go like this, and it opens up really quickly. The only thing, if you guys see here, that's holding it together is that I actually had to glue a magnet here, which I glued here and into here as a locking mechanism, as a safe locking mechanism. Because once again, if you're climbing, if you're doing any type of running or any type of exercise or not activity, I guess it's the best word to say, you could tell that this would just pop open at any given point. And when I first got it, they told me you have to go like this and massage the Velcro into it, you know, and it's not like a wear thing. You have to do this every time. And it's just like, you know what? I don't have time to do that. If I'm shooting something and I put it here, I want it to lock up. I don't want it to have and massage the Velcro for it to like then work right. I just want to lock it, and I want it to the Velcro to work, which is it isn't working, right? I have to sit there and go like this to it, and it's not only once. See, it opens up. You have to like massage it like well and hard, and then you have a probability that it will. Yeah, there we go. So the same thing with this minor compartment. So I added just magnets. These are like a little, I think they're about a quarter, the size of a quarter. And I added 2 magnets here. One, I think one you can see right here. And then the other one down here. So one for each section. And that seems to be working, to be honest. I haven't had any issues. And if it falls backwards, I mean, it has to have a lot of pressure to open it. And at least I know that I have another one here that's pretty safe. And this one's really close to the main magnet, so it's actually pretty strong. Obviously, if I have anything that is not magnet safe, I won't put it here. I'll put it in some other compartment. But for passports, for anything like that, it's pretty well safe. I think I have an SD card here, and I used to have a a mini USB for when I travel and I needed things done. Maybe not. Maybe I took them off. Oh no, I have the SD card here. So yeah, I have a SD card here with a memory just in case. It's not the fastest, but in a pinch, it'll help with photography and stuff like that. So yeah. So there we go. So these are pretty good. These have really nice padding inside, by the way. So if you're thinking about getting these, to be honest, I would probably look into modifying them. They are very hooked. They do come off. As I said before, these are in addition to the bag. I got my backpack in the tactical fabric, and then I added this on the side, dark blue. Yeah, so these are hooked on pretty good, and I wish I would have used these locks for the minor bag, for the extension thing, because that would have been great. It would have been nice and secure, and yeah, a little bit complicated to take in and out, but I would rather take that than have something that just falls, or just something better engineered, where they probably would have used the nipple magnets onto it, but on a side way, with a little bit of a click, and I think it would have been better designed rather than up or down, to be honest. Yeah, so I like the idea of this, and I wish I would have used different, like regular Velcro, or they would have used some type of magnet mechanism, like a magnet on each side, and then like a something like a hook in the middle that you could slide in, and then it goes up. Because sometimes this can be really thick, and it will extend, or it could be very small. But yeah, it fits my phone. I have a Xiaomi right now, Mi 11 Pro. And it fits in here perfectly without an issue. Now here on the side bag, I have no gripes over this. It has a net, so anything that's in here, it breathes in easily. Here I actually have some dental floss right now, but this is for quick access. It could be, you can move your batteries over here and have them here if you're doing something with your camera and you need battery or whatever you want to put it here. And it's pretty elastic. Actually, this is quite perfect, to be honest. I have no gripes over this. And these are the little things that go up top here. As I said before, mine's happened to break off. with using the bag, and I hope that it does get better at some point, where they're using better fabric or that they're able to replace these. One of the things that I did notice is I don't tend to wear my bag 100% on my back, like attached to it. I tend to wear a little bit loose, and right here we see that after 2 years of wear, the fabric is kind of breaking through, or it's kind of completely broken. I thought about taping this up, but I haven't decided yet. And here we even have more hooks, by the way, for some of those bands. I don't know what you would hook onto here, to be honest, but to each their own. There is a compartment back here, which on the website they use for a refrigerator, like a mini, not a mini refrigerator, but like a mini insulated bag that you can buy additionally to this. You could put in a couple of beers, sandwiches, whatever you like, or a couple of beverages, canned beverages, not beers. So yeah, here I keep, it's kind of cold, so it's a wool hat or a wool beanie, and then I have a little jacket. It's not exactly waterproof. I did kind of try to make it waterproof, but the fabric in here that they use is some type of waterproof fabric, so anything that spills here does not go into the main compartment of the bag, which is actually quite nice and I quite enjoy. The same thing with the fabric here. It's pretty easy to clean. I need to clean this because most of the time I usually sometimes would put in my shoes if I'm going to play basketball, if I'm doing any type of activities and I need additional shoes, I'll just put them here and not have to worry about them. So yeah, so let me lock this up. So on the sides, there are little clips here for you to put in other additional compartments or items that Boundary Supply sells. I use this as my shoulder strap, which is the other part is right here. And it works pretty good, to be honest. I haven't had any issues with that. My, what is it? The photography company, I do have their wristband. But the other company that sells stuff like that started off with Kickstarter too. And I do have their item right here, which is, either way, yes. I think you guys know which brand I'm talking about. The clips does not work here. You need to get the old clip that's really big to fit into here to kind of adapt your camera into fitting here. And it will fit over, not in between the loops. So, yeah. Now for this pocket that they sell, it's actually quite nice. They use the nipple mechanism here, and I think that's what they went with on the back because they thought it was really good, and it does work really good for certain things. I just locked this up right here, and it automatically closes. On this, it wasn't so easy to automatically close due to the design. But the inside, you have two pockets. Here you have a light external one. It's kind of shallow, so you basically, it's about 3 to 4 inches inside. The size of my fingers, so yeah, about 3 inches. And then the inside here is definitely a lot bigger, and it does have that nice fabric, the soft fabric inside. So here you could also store sunglasses if you want, your phone, passports depending on which country you're from, and some other items you could try to fit in here. There are side pockets here on the sides, at least on this side, yeah, on both sides. So you could add different little things like a pen, and if you have a small notebook, you could go ahead and attach them here. Everything does have the Boundary Supply attachment to it. So yeah, as I said before, it's just, this one actually is one of the nicest one to lock. That's it, and it's actually pretty secure. Yeah. Yeah, so this is basically my review. I would think that it's a good bag. It's quality, to be honest, from the way that the shoulder straps are made. And once again, I travel a lot. I carry stuff. There's not even any type of tear or slight tear in the shoulder straps, which is actually one of the things where I see most backpacks tend to break out of, break from. The arm, I guess, holder here, or not the arm, but the hand carry-on has been really good, really steady. They have another one here on the side, And this one has been really good. Also right next to the secret compartment. I do like the fact that this is waterproof or water resistant, the side pocket, especially since it's supposed to be built steadily. Yeah, overall, I think it's a solid backpack that could use improvement, to be honest. I wish that, first of all, the clips here will clip on a lot better, because it all depends on what you carry. And if you have a basket, if you have like one of the attachments here, and there's other attachments, then it'll clip on a lot better. But if you have it empty, which I don't always walk around with my camera, sometimes I take this to work, it doesn't always clip on, right? I don't know, maybe having something in the middle that would just make you just like go like that once, and then it will modify itself by going up, would be kind of nice to me. I wish that these right here were water resistant, the zipper. I think it would have been a nice touch to already a very quality product. They have it down here. The zipper here is water resistant. I think it would have added a nicer touch to it. I like the minimalist approach that they did on the outside. There's one big pocket here. There's a side pocket here, which actually I did not even talk about until now. This is waterproof. They do have the Keychain Adapter right here. So if you buy Boundary Supply products, they actually have a pretty neat key compartment to it that's magnetized. And I actually have one here. And you go ahead and just, it uses the same magnet as basically the top. So it's, and then there's compartments on the side right here that you could add things to, which I'll actually add these because I'll be going back to work soon. And these are keys to my offices. So yeah, so you could add different things into your notebook, a passport, and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not as secure, or you can just keep it for whatever you want. So yeah, this is my review of the Boundary Supply Errant backpack with its different compartments: the camera, the side, the waist straps, I guess. And as I mentioned before, using the external component. I do buy, just to be honest, this was not sponsored by Boundary Supply or anything like that. I do like the idea. I do like the fact that they're a small company. So I do have multiple items that they've sold through Kickstarter or through other places. And I'll go ahead and start doing more of a review on the items they sell or they used to sell. I did pick up a couple of their jeans, their shorts, and a couple of the t-shirts that they sold through either Kickstarter or their website at a certain point. Some of these, I think none of these now are available. They stopped their whole clothing line. So it's been rather unfortunate. And I'm also going to talk about more about my travels and what I used to travel. I'm very much a minimalist, as you guys see. And I've slowly started to basically just travel with one of these or two of these. I have the bigger bag that what is it? There's the Errant, and then there's the bigger one that they have of these. I forgot what it's called right now. But yeah, I think I did a review previously on it. I've been slowly switching to merino wool items. So yeah, because they tend to dry faster. They tend to keep your body temperature regulated, or they help you with that. To me, they last equally as long as cotton or any other fabrics for the most part, as far as wearing them as t-shirt and stuff like that and socks. And they don't smell really. You could wear them a couple of times, and they smell like nothing, like you just wore them for the first time. As long as you air them out, and you did not let bacteria kind of build up into them, they're actually pretty good. So yeah, my socks, my shirts, usually my underwear tend to be made out of wool or some type of wool component or antibacterial component into it, or fiber. So that way I'm able to carry very little, but able to wear it constantly throughout various type of temperatures, whether it be a little bit cold or really warm. I tend to travel more to South Asian Pacific because it just helps. These type of fabrics help during that weather, especially if it's cold and especially if it's warm and sweaty. You just want to basically grab a shirt, water it down really quick with detergent or with hand soap, air it out, and then come back in the evening if you do this in the morning and it be dry. You don't have to wait 2 days for it to get dry, especially in this, south of the equator line. Some of these countries in Asia are very, very humid, and it takes a long time for cotton to dry during humid weather. So I would definitely advise start switching to nylons or wool and other type of fabrics like that are able to be dried out really quickly. You could wear multiple times without the fear of it smelling after 2 or 3 wears, and that are basically compact and less weight and size than cotton. Cotton takes up a lot of time, a lot of space, and it takes up a lot of time to dry. So I would recommend definitely start looking into alternative fabrics when you travel. All right, that's it for me. I hope you guys have found this video useful as far as the boundary supply items here that I have, the Errant backpack, and several of the additional compartments that they do sell. Once again, it is built very well. No problems with building quality. Just wish that the design was a little bit different in certain aspects, so it could be a lot more complete of an item and just a lot more dependable. So that's it. Ultimately, would I buy it again? I'm kind of torn. I would say yes, because I like the company. I like what they're doing. If I were to go in a different route, I'll probably think about it twice, to be honest. After 2 to 3 years of having these products, I think I would have definitely designed a couple of things different. Not building quality, once again, just the design of it. From the zipper here, not the zipper, the Velcro, where it doesn't really work, to be honest, to the nipple here thing being different, the magnet, where, as I said before, it works great on the compartment up front, but I would have done it just slightly different. Waterproofing here, and this compartment being redesigned to be just a little bit better attached here, and maybe a little bit longer to fit a zoom camera and a Sony or any type of camera. And that's about it. Everything else aside from this, though, this is a great compartment being built into here for shoes or anything that might be water-based. Pockets, there's a lot of pockets here inside, even here on the outside, here on the side, here on the other side, and inside there's different compartments. I like the 2 sleeves that are in there. One of them can be for documents and a laptop, the other, or it could be for a tablet and a laptop. And then you have access to anything down here. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, just please let me know and I'll go ahead and try to help you out.